Hi, I'm Chris with E3C. We help businesses realize their full potential for happiness, service, and profit all at the same time by doing a few things a little bit differently. And today we're kicking off a brand new series called The Art of Small Business Thriving. And I'm going to tell you a story about Marjorie. She's a gardener who has this really cool dream of making these magical spaces, but she feels stuck a lot of the time just in the busy work and paying the bills and keeping her staff employed. And she gets snagged there, so she can't realize her full potential. Now, you may not be a gardener, but I think most of us as small business people have a lot of things in common where we get stuck in the day-to-day grind. People can't really always see us for the most amazing things we do, and a series of things that we've found that people get snagged on. And some of them may not be thought of as marketing or whatever, but actually a lot of them are, and our whole principle is about coming from the inside out and then being discovered and seen for who you really are by the people that really need to find you. So anyway, let's get started with the story of Marjorie. I'm going to tell you some of the challenges she's experiencing in going from a plain old landscaper business to the one she really dreams about. And in doing so, I'll give you several tips you can use to bring your own business closer to the dream one you'd love to have. So Marjorie owns a landscaping company with 12 employees. Marjorie specializes in creating really wonderful special garden spaces that you can walk into and feel lost and forget your troubles and your cares. And she's had this vision ever since she was a girl, actually, of these soothing meditation gardens that take people away and let them, let their cares melt away. And she's really good at this. She loves doing this. The trouble is she's such a good businesswoman that she ends up doing all this other stuff that people are asking her to do. And now she has 12 employees, and occasionally people ask for these magical gardens and they say, oh, that sounds cool, and they actually make a lot more money than the maintenance work and all this sort of boring stuff that she doesn't really want to do. But she feels this sort of deep responsibility to her 12 employees. She doesn't want them to lose their jobs. What if I go and make these magical gardens and people think they're stupid, or I lose business? And so she's in a predicament. She's actually had some spark of excitement where people are seeing the magic of this and paying for it, but it's sort of fewer and far between than she'd like. And then she also has this weighing on her of not wanting to let any of her employees go. So this is her basic situation. So we're going to look at that and see what we as Essential 3 would recommend to her from our inside-out approach, and how could we help her work her way out of this problem. And obviously, each step along the way, I'm going to ask you how you might apply this same situation to your business and apply the same idea to become freer, have more fun, make more money, feel more creative, and feel more like you're really in the business you wanted to be when you started the business. Take a little more of a look at Marjorie and see how she got herself into this situation. She got her certificate 12 years ago, and she's actually built up a company with 12 employees. So in a way, her blessing and her curse is that she was such a hard worker and so good at business that she's built up this business that now is sort of like a job that she kind of hates at this point. She got swept up in the rush to make a living after she got her certification. And a really key thing here also that happened for her was that, as in many trades and many forms of income, she had one day of business training. So it was like a 2-year program in landscape gardening in which there was only one day on how to market your business. And this happens all the time. This might have happened to you. So it's like, if you're a dentist or a massage therapist or any number of services, a chiropractor, they teach you all about how to do your trade, but they don't teach you how to sell your trade. Or in the case of Marjorie, she likes gardening and stuff like that, but she had a specific thing she wanted to do with it. She wanted to craft it into something that was really meaningful. And so there was all this creativity bubbling up, and there was really nowhere to go with it because she she found herself marketing herself as a generic gardener, right? She saw everyone putting in ads in the local flyer or online later on, and different things, and trying different things, and then kind of word of mouth, people would say, oh, I need someone to like prune my shrubs or whatever. But no one ever gave her any background education in how to take what she loves to do and describe that specifically and mold a brand around that that could really speak to what people wanted there and to speak to those people. So now she feels stuck. So what I think the first thing Marjorie needs to do is clarify and name her vision. What do I mean by that? So I'm a small business person. You're a small business person probably watching this. And one of the number one things that happens is we got caught up in the whirlwind of the bills that need to be paid. There's almost always more that needs to be done than you have time for, and you just caught up in the whirlwind of all the stuff that needs to be done. The last thing you feel like you have time to do sometimes is take a deep breath, stand back, and think, like, where am I going? How do I want to get there? And I always think of this thing that Peter Drucker said. He said that, like, the executive, by which he meant us. He meant anyone who's in charge of something at all. That their undivided, quiet think time is one of the most precious resources they have. For me, I do that by taking walks and talking out loud to myself, or journaling or writing. But anyway, it's just an incredibly powerful thing, and this is something Marjorie never lets herself do. And to be honest, by paying us to consult with her, what she's really doing, part of what she's doing, honestly, is just being able to stand back and take a breath and take an assessment of where she's going and where she wants to be. So what I'm going to ask Marjorie to do is just contemplate, why did you start this business? What was your vision? So obviously you think about this for yourself as well. But so why did she start this business? What were her, beautiful images and ideas of what it was going to be like? What parts of that has she let go of, or had to fall behind the wayside, or said, we'll do that part someday, we'll do that part someday? And I think she could get, really wild about it and do it in a lot of different ways. Some people actually like, the whole vision board thing, cutting up magazine pictures and putting it up, or some people like to write and describe their vision that way. But she actually has a very strong vision, which was kind of buried and in all the busyness. And so it's very inspiring for her to take a little time and make herself stop working on a weekend and just go and take a walk and think about this. And then, of course, what are your values? What are the non-negotiables? What are the things that it's like, I can't really say this business is a success unless it has this in it. Now at E3C, we really have a holistic approach to success, right? We've seen businesses that make $100 million and the person is miserable, and we're not for that. We believe that, like, profit is a very important bullet item underneath the headline of holistic success, along with a whole bunch of other things, like maybe having a happy family life, having health, having happy employees, having happy customers that are thriving in the world, right? Doing good in the world in whatever way that is for you. And so in that, like, what are her non-negotiables? And so, this is really important. And then also, what are the things you like the least? And so just for her to take some time, or for you to take some time, and just write it down and get back in touch with it. And this really does have a kind of energetic effect, because you actually get back in touch with why you're doing something. And this is a first stage, actually, of creating a brand that really is you. Anybody can create a brand in a cheesy, corny way, and try to sell it to people and convince them and all that, and it's just kind of pointless and stupid, frankly, and the world needs less of that, but the world needs more of what our real vision is. And so this is a way to do that. Just take some time, ask yourself, why am I doing this? And get in touch with the core of what's really exciting about it. And so yeah, so this is what Marjorie actually does. She begins to implement these little exercises, starts to feel that inspiration level increase, takes some walks through some of her favorite gardens, looks at some of her inspiration books, and she starts finding she has more energy than she's had in a long time, and people start to see that in her, you know, and this starts the wheel rolling of actually kind of getting back in touch with the essence of like where actually her energy is, you know, which will create more than just kind of being stuck in the grind. So how about you? Now, how could you implement some of these steps here in this first piece of clarifying and naming your vision? Why not try it? Just take a walk, take some separate time out of your work, out of the normal flood of distractions. I like to put my phone on airplane mode, actually. You could take out a notebook or something, write down your vision, your values, your ideas, maybe paint your ideal picture. Use your own style, but you know, don't discount the power of this starting point of getting more clarity on what you're really doing and what you want to get out of this business. If this video helped you, if you like to see the rest of the series, please hit the subscribe button and the bell to follow along. Did this resonate? Did it bring up any questions? Have you tried this out? Please let me know in the comments, and let me know if there's anything you'd like more of or less of. Meanwhile, we'll be talking about recommendation number 2 for Marjorie in the next video.